If you've begun turning up the AC at your house, ready for the summer weather to come, and you're thinking, you know what, maybe it's time we just get a new unit, well, meet Matthew Stanley. He is here with Bailey's Heat and Air, talking about big ways the state of Georgia is trying to help you save some money. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So you got us all wanting to cross that state line, I think.
Oh yeah, I know,
to get into Georgia. So what is this that the state's doing?
So basically, what happened is $220 million was allocated to the state of Georgia to make homes more efficient, right? What happened was these older homes were using standard efficiency, outdated heating and cooling systems, or having low insulation, which is causing utility bills to skyrocket.
Sure.
Right? The newer homes were built with more insulation, better systems, which we've seen homes 3 times the size, post 2000, have lower utility bills than older homes.
Right.
So basically what the goal is for these older homes to get their homes to become 35% more efficient.
Okay.
And if they're able to do that, they unlock a $16,000 rebate that will potentially cover a majority of the cost of doing those upgrades.
Okay, so before I get people having the wrong idea, then kind of the magic number is not the 16,000, it's the 35%.
Of course, yes, and that's the hardest part of our job, right? So what we do is we do a thing called a home energy assessment, right? We see how old someone's system is, what's the SEER rating on it, which is a fancy way of how well it does heating and cooling for the house. We check insulation levels, check the age of the water heater, and essentially we run a report to see if we were to replace those with higher efficiency equipment, would that reach the 35% threshold?
Okay, so let's do some more math.
Okay.
Let's say that you've come to a house and it's not does the house have to just need a lot of upgrades to be more energy efficient, or does it have to be a certain age house?
Well, so, not all systems are created equal,
right?
So I've dealt with people who have 5-year-old systems, but they're very, I guess cheaper, standard efficient. Outdated, yes.
Okay.
And or someone's insulation was super low, which was able to get us to a higher percentage of efficiency, right? A lot of people who have gas systems, we have a lot of luck transitioning them over to like fully electric heating and cooling systems that are able to save them 40 to 50% sometimes.
Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to get long-winded with this question. So back to this hypothetical house.
Yep.
And they've called you out to take a look, and their HVAC unit would definitely be a good thing to replace.
Yes.
But that's all. Everything else about the house is fine.
Yes.
Then if they only replace the HVAC unit, would that always be enough to get them to that 35%?
Well, majority of the time it all depends, right? So for this program, we have to do some form of weatherization, right?
Okay.
So we have to do either air sealing, attic insulation, all that.
Okay.
But a majority of the time, the most of our savings come from just upgrading the unit in general.
Gotcha.
Right, so.
The other thing that's nice, so often a rebate is, you pay it and you get the money back later. That's not how this one works. That $16,000 goes directly to the provider, that's you, and then the homeowner just writes the remainder.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the payment.
So basically, once the way it would work is you would do a home energy assessment, you would do an application with the state on your own.
Okay.
And then once that were approved and we send our application in with Bailey's would send an application in as well. Once you get approved, we would get the money to do the work, we do the work, and then the out-of-pocket, whatever that is after that, you would pay.
Okay, I'm peppering you with questions.
Yeah, you're okay.
Are there any restrictions if you were to do this, so that you have to then keep the house for a certain length of time before you sell it?
No restrictions like that. The only restriction that there is there is an income level, right?
Okay.
So based off what area you're in, every region's different, right? Based off the county you're in, you can go on to and see exactly if you're under the income based off how many people live in the home. And that basically figures out if you can unlock the full $16,000 or partially part of the rebate.
Okay, so what website do you go on to see that?
So you can either call Bailey's Heating and Air, go to garebates.com and you can get an inquiry there, or you can go straight to the state for the Home Efficiency Rebate Program, GFA, and see if you calculate that.
I'm kind of liking the idea of calling, because if you call, then they'll tell you, okay, I make X amount of money, will you qualify for this much? And even if the qualification maybe isn't significant enough for what you're needing, they can then walk you through what your other options might be, right?
Of course. Yeah, I always recommend people call Bailey's Heat and Air's phone number. They'll send you over to someone that works with the Peach program, someone that's coordinating that, and we can go over exactly your situation, what you would qualify for, if it's worth for us to come out and see if anything. Most of the time, it is worth it.
Yeah.
But we'll figure out and see if you're under that income level, if there's anything that you can do.
You said something, I only have about a minute left, but you said something important to me at the beginning, which is that suppose you had work done and it was not the best put in. This is one of those times where you want to put in as good as you can afford, right?
Yeah,
the
of course.
best quality.
Yeah, a lot of times when people have to do a replacement of a system, they go with the best cost option, which I don't blame them. HVAC systems are expensive. So basically, even 2 years ago, if you were to replace a system, it's still causing high utility bills. This is an opportunity that we've never really seen where you can get a high efficiency system, really high cost system for a lot less with that rebate. Yeah.
And what he was saying was it's not like every county in the state has been allocated a certain amount of money. You're battling, if you're in Georgia, those South Georgia counties where it's hot all the time.
Yes.
They're going for the same $220 million that folks up here are.
Yeah, and once it's out, right? Okay. And so we're projected probably by the end of the year to be out of this funding.
Okay, so let me show you the contact information for Bailey's so that you can give them a call if you want. That information is there on your screen. And then that rebate website was again what?
So you can either go to garebates.com, or if you want to check eligibility from the state level, go to GFA, which is gfa.gov.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you so much.